When you look at Google Play, it's not the most stylish app around. There's lots of different content from movies, music, games, apps, and the way it's organized can be confusing at times. It's just not the best solution. There's just so much going on. Well, thankfully, Google has realized that problem and they've come out with a brand new version of Google Play, which is rolling out to people starting today. That was the old Google Play. When you look at what's new, you can see that there's obviously some changes to the design. First of all, the navigation is now focused at the top, so you can jump from apps, movies, books, magazines, games, and music. Now, obviously, all of these options won't be available to you if you're outside of the US. That's the only place where you're guaranteed to see everything. Some countries have one or two, some have three or four, some have none other than apps and games. So that's just something to keep in mind. But other than that, when you scroll down, you're going to see now it has its featured content, and it's going to be recommended below. And you can see more, so you can tap in to go other content. It's like curated sections of apps that you can download. Or you can see it has some song suggestions as well, and books. And for instance, Roger Ebert just died, so now they have Ebert related books. So they're going to have things where they curate music, books, movies, and all of that to get you to pay attention to certain things. When you dive into a particular section, like let's say I'll go into apps, you see now there's some big changes there as well. I can swipe across here to browse through and filter, so I can say only apps that generate a lot of money, or I'll say only the apps that are new and free, and then I can browse through that list. And of course, search is always going to be in the top right corner. Let's try something else. Let's go into music. Alright, and there's a lot of people that are getting this now, so it's been moving a little bit slow for me, so don't surprise that. Normally there would be a big picture here with some information. It's not available at the moment, but I have some music right here. And it's the same concept. I can browse through albums or songs or filter by genre. So every section that you go into, it's going to have some filtering options to narrow down the type of content you're searching for. And in books, you see now, instead of that old list where it used to be tiny little columns, they have large thumbnails so you can actually see the cover of a book. You can get recommendations for you, and then of course that is tailored to you based on your previous history and what Google knows about what you like. And I can browse through the new arrivals and all that. I'll go in nonfiction, and then it's the same concept, the larger covers. So you're focusing more like you would in a bookstore. You're not reading just a title. You're getting attracted to the cover art. You get the basic information right below that and the price information and all that. And when you tap on it, it brings you through. You can get a sample of it if you're in a book, and you can purchase it at the same time. And then it has the previous stuff that you saw on Google Play, in terms of descriptions, ratings, and reviews from other users. And you can see that there's really a focus on discovery, how they group things. Like they have certain things, say they want to recommend an app, and then they have apps specifically tailored towards you. But they also have apps to watch, in case you want to see some new apps that are rising up the charts or things that might be a little underrated in their eyes. They also have apps from startups. So these are like small companies that you want to learn more about. They have apps, so maybe you ought to check them out. This is a small little curated list. And they have this available for a variety of reasons and different times. It'll circle out over time. They're not always going to have sports apps. They're not always going to have music apps. But then again, you can say, go into a specific section. So I'm going to go to the top new page. And they mentioned that it's easier to buy apps now for somehow. So I'm going to see how that works. I'm just going to look for an app that I might want to buy. I'll try the Chameleon Launcher. It's $2.91. Okay, so I'll tap on that. It tells me I've got to accept these permissions. I'll accept. Let me move so make sure my... Alright, now it's asking me, it has my credit card information on. I'll just tap buy. And now I have to confirm my password. So I'll do that. Don't look. Alright, I entered my password, and there was an option to never have you ask again, but I left that off. So this could be a new way to always have a little safety net so your kids won't be able to download paid apps or someone who finds your phone won't be able to download apps on your charge. I doubt they would try anyway, but it's an option to have in there. So I was able to pretty much buy an app without issue. I just tapped it once. It had my payment information on file from previous purchases, and it just went through. So they have kind of simplified it much easier. So now that it's downloaded, I have about 15 minutes to decide whether or not I want to keep it. I'll open it up and see what this thing's about. So that's the new Google Play. This is Andrew from mobileburn.com giving you a quick look at the new Google Play. Should be rolling out over the next 2 weeks to people. Thanks for watching the video, and if you enjoyed it, please feel free to subscribe and click like and share with your friends and all that jazz.